Because research has repeatedly proven that alphabet knowledge and phonemic awareness are two of the best predictors for early reading success, at our library we decided to create a backpack for each letter of the alphabet so that people could use this curated set of materials to work with children to strengthen those two skills. Hi. I'm Lisa, and I am a youth services librarian with the Appalachian Regional Library System in the mountains of North Carolina, and I was the project manager for 3 years for an IMLS LSTA funded grant that we called Alphabet Ready. And the backpacks that we created were just a small part of what we did for that grant. So if you're interested in knowing more of the activities that comprise that grant, I'm going to link to some videos that explain that below this video. But today I wanted to go through the contents of our letter A backpack and show you what we did. This particular backpack was created as a series we did in year 2. So the backpack has kind of a STEM focus and an early reader focus. But in the front pouch of each one of the backpacks for this series, we included a magic board and a printing practice card. So we took, this was a whole set, and we just took one of the cards out of that set and put it in the backpack with that focus letter. So here is the letter A, and this gave children an opportunity to work on the alphabet recognition, being able to notice the difference between a capital letter and practice the fine motor skills of writing that, and a lowercase letter. And then when they were done, they would just slide this across, erase, and it's ready for the next child, or ready for some more practice. So, the thing that makes an alphabet backpack, you know, a letter A backpack, is that we put books in the backpack that all feature that letter in the title of the book. But before I get to those titles, I wanted to show you that we created a tip sheet for each backpack that had just suggestions of how parents might want to interact with the material in the backpack, and we include the tip to ask your child to look for the letter A in the title of the books. And then we also have, there's an alphabetic knowledge tip, or maybe we would put in a phonemic awareness tip. And in this particular series of backpacks, we also included a RAN board on the back of each tip sheet. So that stands for Rapid Automatic Naming. And it's just a little exercise that parents and children could do together that helps with becoming automatic in saying the name of a letter, recognizing it, or using the most common sound that that letter makes. So there's a tip sheet in each one of those backpacks. And then now we get to the good part. So here's one of the books that was included in the letter A backpack that had that STEM focus and early reader. This is a book put out by Abdo Publishing, and I really did like a lot of what they had to offer. But to start off with, we would ask a child if they could find the letter A in the title of this book. And, you know, it's not just at the beginning of the word, but also in the middle of the word. And it makes different sounds where it is in the word. And that would be a great thing to point out to children. And a lot of times I'll explain that by telling a child that, you know, a dog can make different noises. It can bark, it can howl, it can growl, it can whine, but it's just one dog, but it makes 4 different sounds. And letters are like that too. So that's just a simple way to help explain. The child doesn't have to memorize all the sounds that letter A can make. They're just becoming aware that letters make sounds and that they can make different sounds. So I wanted to show you just a little bit in this book, give you an idea of the projects that are in here. There's a catapult plane. So that's an example of some of the aircraft projects. Then we included a book on anteaters. Again, we would have the child look for the capital letter A, but can they also find a lowercase letter A in the title of this book? And this is a blast-off reader, level 1, and so I wanted to show you kind of what the text would look like in a level 1 blast-off reader. And then I really loved the series Ordinary People Change the World. So this is I Am Amelia Earhart. So there's multiple letter A's in the title here, making different sounds and written in different fonts, which again, those are great skills to talk to a child about as you get ready to read this book. And what I really loved about this book was it was told from the perspective of Amelia Earhart as a child. And so that book was included in the letter A backpack, as well as from the same series, I Am Neil Armstrong. Then we also had a book on astronauts, and again, we would ask the child to find the letter A in that title. This is a level 3 blast-off reader, so I wanted to show you the difference between the font, not font, but the amount of text from a level 1 to a level 3. And then finally, we included Amazing Inventions, Aircraft. So those were the books that were included in that letter A backpack, but we also include at least one manipulative or game. So in this backpack we included Baby Monkey Astronaut, and this was a fabulous game, kind of a countdown game and also a memory game. So I highly recommend that game to anyone. So that was it for the contents of that letter A backpack, and we offer this information kind of just as inspiration for any projects that you might be working on. And of course, we're always looking to be inspired ourselves. So if you have any suggestions for other titles that you think would have been great to include in this backpack, we can add to them, or we may need to replace books on down the road. Or if you have any suggestions for other manipulatives or games that might be nice to include in something like this. If you're interested in seeing the whole series, we did, a STEM series, and then we did just a storytelling series of backpacks. So I will link to some of those videos below. And if you enjoyed this video, if you would like it on YouTube, we would appreciate that. That's a great way to say thank you. And we just look forward, hopefully this served you in some way as a librarian or a teacher or parent, anybody working with children. We hope you got some good ideas from this video. So that's all I have. In the words of Tigger, ta-ta for now.